Scribal Sessions, Volume 1. For the record. Open your eye in alignment with time and you'll see the truth like it's a physical thing. From the darkness I arise, so it's not a surprise when you learn of the light that I bring. As above, so below, I find a rhythm and flow as I grow with the pendulum swing. This is the matrix where everyone's faking they sleep here in life while we wake up in dreams. Shedding the skin like a serpent, this work makes it worth it. Attaining a purpose while searching internal, examine what all is in me. Most will not make it there, so can I take it? Reality shaking, you've seen what I've seen. Reap what you sow, with the weavers of speech, achievers, and this is the read 'em and weed 'em. You cannot read in vibrations that none of them speak. Walk a medu netter, light is feather is heavy to learn that your will isn't free. Netter willing, I continue to lead with my ebas. I'm sweeping my consciousness clean. Training in realms that are unseen. My aura is some set fire to all of the fiends. Stand on my access is all seeing. I we supply 93, that means we are supreme. Healing through tones on my senses, connecting in this year. Wealthy is health, this is green. This is illusion, reality veiled in delusion. Thoughts become intrusive, it's foolish to not know by now that it ain't what it seems. This is way more than belief. I see clearly the lies. My six senses of sight are hypnotized. No wonder everyone sleeps. It's time to set off the alarms. The performance of form. Don't you know you're a star? God in human form, and you rise with the beast. More than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I said, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper. Seeing the state of the planet, the damage, the famines expanding beyond your belief. I see they landed, they've handed the people a cannon and aiming it right at your feet. Blowing a hole where you're standing, creating the panic. The tactical planning is deep. Teaching you're only a man and that God is in heaven, the seventh outside of your reach. If you're the question, they'll call you a manic, frantic, erratic, depression, demonic. When you're teaching through the magical speech, they'll call you serpent, the one in the garden. Pardon my knowledge for having the knowledge and prowess to see. He really told the truth to Adam and Eve. You'll have to think between good and evil if you eat of the fruit of the tree. Now you're a god, open your eye, cleansing yourself so that now you can see. They stole the stories and twisted them like it's a spliff. They put the fire to leaf, I put the fire to speech. I put the fire to heat. We don't do liars and thieves, they just desire to greed. This is my record to keep, this is my throne. You cannot sit in my seat. And I command it, I give more than 10 commandments. This is the law of attraction, and we have infinite stamina. My stage is where I'm standing. This is my eye, God is in me. I only keep goddesses with me. They are the magical beings, they are the holy ones. Birds and the gods, we're overcoming the odds. We are the even and odd, they're in the odds, we're in the all. Ancestors answer my prayers, forever grateful. I will forever say thank you. Inspiration to awake the sleepers. Record keeper, more than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I said, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper, more than man. Bread in my hand, that's the Lord in hand. Heard what I said, Lord, live in the man. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. Light is sought after, it's in the man. Come from the inundation lands. We ain't the same man. Record keeper.
You and your family health and prosperity. May your monument be established on the foundations of MAAT, and may you rise and come forth as conscious light, like the divine Ra, who rise and shine forevermore in MAAT. Ptah.
I look outside in awe, I see our people double-minded. People meaning creature, don't ignore the signage. Voices lead, though flying silent. Observation with my eye open eyelid. Look outside in awe, I see our people double-minded. People meaning creature, don't ignore the signage. Voices lead, though flying silent. Observation with my eye open eyelid. I am him, king, crown, rings, Nesu, I am in. Mindset of when fighting jinns. Sword, swang, samurai, I am Shem. Su, Hor, son of the Heru, I am him. King, crown, rings, Nesu, I am in. Mindset of when fighting jinns. Sword, swang, samurai, I am Shem. Su, Hor, son of Heru. Words powerful, Hekau. See, prove you can feel the roots. Gone, just look up, I am proof. Breaking doors down, make some room. But I is now speaking through me and trust me.
Hotep, can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear, brother.
Hotep, peace and love, everybody. Welcome to the House of Aten. Ancient Tehuti and Teachings of the NETERU presents Show Your Face, RAturning, Genius of the Sun, presented by the great Sherry Ka. Before we begin, we will do as we do with everything and begin with our beautiful affirmation. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Anki MAAT, UNNS, Nintet Oset MAAT, Minhapapet MAAT, Her Inhu QE, Per Iku. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light. Welcome, everybody. I'm the mighty Atef Remkem Ma'at. I'm the esteemed steward of the Venerable House of Aten. As a devoted disciple of the Master Teacher, the illustrious Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, I proudly undertake the role of the sagacious host for the weekly gathering within our sacred halls of the House of Aten. Here we delve into the profound teachings that illuminate the path of Ma'at. In the sacred sanctuary of the House of Aten, I guide fellow seekers on a journey of enlightenment and understanding, drawn from the wellspring of ancient wisdom. Our gatherings are profound explorations into the depths of truth, meticulously deciphered through the lens of ancestral artifacts, and the profound teachings bestowed upon us by the great Tehuti Amenhotep Ra. My commitment to the pursuit of wisdom extends beyond the confines of our weekly gatherings. As a true-hearted devotee of truth, I strive to embody the essence of Ma'at in all aspects of life. Expressing unwavering love for my people, my soul resonates with the harmonious frequencies of the metal Neter. I stand as a loyal guardian of Ma'at, steadfastly defending the sacred principles that govern our existence within the House of Aten. Next, we have the mighty Minku Ara Mary Ma'at. Minku is a student of the Master Teacher Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra and a follower of Ma'at. Minku Ara is the Heb, the festivities organized in the House of Aten, cultural enlightenment advisor and a teacher, the developer of the Pathways to Awakening, a director and producer of documentaries, a researcher of ancient civilizations, and a researcher of the knowledge of spells. Next, we have the mighty Primordial Thought, is a seeker of divine wisdom, the wisdom with universal structure, the wisdom that remains the same from every perspective, the wisdom that adapts to any interaction, the wisdom that creates silence, the wisdom that sustains the House of Aten. Next, we have the mighty Ani Scribe, the mighty scribe Ani Ptah Aten Tehuti. Aten Tehuti is a teacher of knowledge, a spoken word artist, a creator, awakening the sleepers and healing the chosen ones through sound vibrational tone and conscious thought. He's a Sab, the wisdom door opener, and the lead organizer here at the House of Aten. And our presenter for the night needs no introduction. So I'm not going to introduce her. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Is the mighty Nefer Sherry Ka. Welcome to the House of Aten. Peace and love, Hotep, great sister. How are you?
Hotep, peace and love.
Hotep,
yes,
a lot of medicine already about patience and perseverance.
Go ahead,
Peace,
Sherry.
peace.
Hotep, am I good?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, yes. Thank you everyone for your patience. Okay, good. Yes, thank you everybody for your patience. It has definitely been an adventure, but this moment, this teaching, and this announcement is meant to come through. So yes, before I begin and get to the core and the journey of my presentation, as it has been hinted at, my name formerly was Sharika Akira's, and that is no longer my name. And with this new Ren that I've been given, I have a new life and a new out and a new family. So I'm gonna announce this to the House of Aten family that my new name going forward is NFRTATHNT. And this name, I have to give dua to Ani Ptah Aten Tehuti for beyond giving me vow and giving me a ring, giving me your Eid, you giving me this Ren, and this opportunity to traverse through eternal love within Ma'at and such neferness. So such dua to you, and as well much kes to my Sanet in every way, shape, and form, Nefer Keperet, for the journey as well of traversing in Ma'at in our own development as Neterts. In the house of Aten, the NETERU just didn't walk in the time of Zeb Tepi. The NETERU continue to walk through our legacy. So with this new Ren, NFRTATHNT is the embodiment and the truest sense of Asar, Aset, and Netet within our Auts. So that is the wonderful announcement. And I also have to thank Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, because the questions that I asked from my Eve was truly to find a sense of family. And I am a living example. So what I've reciprocated and the amount that I've given and the questions that I asked specifically, this is truly what I wanted, and it's a manifestation. So though my questions have stopped, I kept doing the work. I kept refining my heart, and I kept refining myself to try to be a woman in Ma'at, a Hamet in Ma'at, and a Turt in Ma'at to the best I can be. And that work has done and created the Heka to draw the Neter to me and draw the family and Sanet to me. So it's very Nefer and it's very beautiful. So Annie Ptah can stop playing poker with everybody about formally as. So I'm going to properly adjust this name, and then we can get into the presentation. So dua for everyone, and Saba Tehuti for giving me the opportunity to truly live my destiny and come forward in Ma'at.
Okay, Tua. Are y'all able to hear clearly? Great brothers.
Yes, we could hear. We could hear her. We heard that wonderfully beautiful announcement, Nefer announcement, great sister.
Okay. So for everyone, so there was a lot of there's a lot of technical things that we're having to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post these support links, and as NFRTATHNT gives her presentation, I want you all to make sure that you have the support links, House of Aten. And let me show this on the screen as well for those who use the QR code, to where you just scan the QR code and support. And for those who may not have Cash App or PayPal, you can just go to houseofaten.org. So Tua and Henu to NFRTATHNT for that beautiful Nefer announcement. And without further ado, well, I'll let the great brothers Primordial Thought 9 and Atefrem Kema'at, if you all have anything that you would like to speak before we pass it to NFRTATHNT, please do. Hotep,
peace and love. Shouts out to everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel. Definitely wonderful introduction. Wonderful. This already started off real good already. So Tua for that. I'm y'all got me excited over here. That's Hotep making great announcement. The great NFRTATHNT. I like that. That's fire. Tua to y'all. May y'all continue to thrive and shine forth. Peace and love, man. Beautiful day. I'm ready.
Tua, great
brother. Yeah, beautiful announcement. I'm so excited. Looking forward to your presentation. We've been waiting on this for quite some time, and that just goes to show everybody. So me and the great brother Ani received our Ren at the same time, and that's just a beautiful thing, because it shows the importance of just changing the frequency, just changing and aligning with the specific frequency that you align with, so it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I have I've been traveling and I have family in town, and I've just been just sharing some of the wisdom that I've been able to obtain from our great teacher and the great brothers. And one of those conversations we had was about the Ren, and not changing the frequency. Like we're not able to change the frequency of specific English words. Like they are what they are and they mean what they mean. So it's just very important that we understand that this is not our mother tongue. This language that we speak, it's not ours. It's just not ours. We don't align with it. Ideally, not to say that some people out there don't or do, but we specifically don't. And it's just a fact. And it's just very important that we begin to align with specific frequencies and that we understand how important a Ren is. It's beautiful. So I'm so excited for this presentation and definitely looking forward to what you have to bring forth. It's just a wonderful time that we are in right now. So Tua and Hinu to you, great sister, and Hinu to all the great brothers and all the supporters and everyone in the chat. Like, subscribe, and comment. You see, we're presenting more. This is a wonderful Tuesday that we have a class, and it's just a beautiful thing. We're presenting with the beautiful Turks. They're coming forth, so it's just a wonderful time that we in. So I hope everyone appreciates, and I hope you show your appreciation. The house of Aten.org. Go check us out, and just show your support. So Tua and Dua to you, great brother and sisters, and everyone in the chat. Hotep.
All right, Hotep, great brothers. Tua, everyone. So yes, I will pass it to you, NFRTATHNT, so you can go ahead and begin your presentation, great sister.
Okay. So before I begin this presentation, I'd like to really open the space and let it be a ceremony and just give a little backdrop to me, from raw, from mouth to utterance in my life. Words have truly kept me alive in countless ways. My words have been my therapy. My words have been my counsel. My words have been my companion when I felt abandoned. Words have been my healers and my love and all these many, many things. And no matter the role, it's all words. It's all words, and it allows me to take note in life and really feel life as music, even if I wasn't playing an instrument. So here's the stage, and here's the moment for me to teach as well as create and come forward like the Saba, Tehuti, Amen, Hotep, Ra, who set that challenge out for us, the Turks, to make our presence felt on this platform. So I hope that is achieved, and please receive all of these tones from me. This is more than a presentation. This is a dedication for decades of questions that went unanswered in this world that was not interested in explanations. Inside, I see amazing. Seed I am, Heka. The lioness's belly soon will rumble. Sweet toothing world bites the apple as it all crumbles. It's a desert to be deserted, and this matrix life is not worth it. This list is Ma'at's discernment. My heart's collider is beyond all of CERN circuits. Forever is always working, and it pays an attention. Attention. Mirror never ending. The echoes gleam, my nefer body. The brutal untruth path can never rob me, for I have my Ren, I have my name, I have my oaths, I have my nation. Two cutting without a saber, light traces up my spine, draws actor from my mind. Ankh is Ankh, school is light. The only test resides in returning back to the sky. I came here to live, I came here not to die. Duality, Sab Saba, teacher and student, Ma'at, keep my heart light and prudence. Every day is mine for improvement. Aten. Let the stage be set and sealed, and let's go. What is a face? Showing our face. What does that mean? What does that entail? Give me a beat here. All right. Face, facial appearance, expression, likeness, image, from Latin facies, appearance, form, and figure. PIE root, to set and to put. Replace Old English, ambulita, face, countenance, from root woten, to see and to look. All right, literally toward and look. In some spaces, the word face means form and shape. So when we appear, when we have our face, we are coming into view. Old French, approa, apper, come to light, to come forth. And so much of Ma'at is coming forth by day. So we must appear, we must make our presence known and show our face. And yet in the root of that, it means to provide. So when we think of a face, right, and we think of the cosmos, Ra comes to mind. Ra, the sun neter, the great one. And this is from Gods of the Egyptians, and this is one of the 75 praises of Ra. Even more instructive, however, than these are the 75 praises of Ra, which are found inscribed in the walls of the royal tombs of the 19th and the 20th dynasties at Thebes. In these, we find enumerated large and remarkable epithets and attributes, some idea of the meaning of which is gathered from the following rendering. So we're going to skip ahead, not to the whole 75, but to 62. Praise be to thee, O Ra, exalted Seka, mighty one of journeyings. Thou orderest thy steps by Ma'at. Thou art thou soul that doeth good to the body. Thou art, second Ra, second HERU, means face of light. And thou art indeed the bodies of strength, Ra. So Ra himself is the face of light. Again, continuing on from Gods of the Egyptians, well, who is Ra? We say Ra all the time, but what does Ra mean in Ma'at and Kemet? So this is from Wallace Butch. Ra is the name which is given by the Kemetians of the dynastic period to the Neter of the sun, who is regarded as the maker and creator of everything which we see in the visible world around us, and the NETERU in the heaven, as well as heaven itself, and of the Tuat, or underworld, and the beings there within. So what is heaven? Before I continue and get into heaven, the very nefer thing about this is heaven, so often people feel like is a place in the sky far away. But when we look at within Ma'at, heaven is not only out in the cosmos, but it's on the earth, and it's the Tuat. So heaven on earth is our daily walk, is our daily experience in the world. Old English, heaven etymology, Hefon, home of God, earlier, visible sky, firmament, Proto-Germanic, Hibin, Himin, source also, Low German, Heben, Old Norse, many of these other various etymological roots, but we're going to go to heaven and sky, which is uncertain of disputed origin. And here's the key. A covering, PIE, root means to cover. Continuing on, English root word is attested 14th century, heavenly place, state of bliss. So again, if heaven is also on Ptah, on the land, then we are meant to have bliss. It is not damnation. The plural use in the sense of sky is probably from the Platonic theory of space composed of many spheres. So when we go to the Medu, we see Pet, we see that sky, we see that heaven, and also heaven of the day as well as the night. So our daily traverse is heaven in itself. And as we see as well, heaven is the earth and the other worlds. And when we look further into the Meta-Neter dictionary, we see that Pet Ra, means glance, means glimpse, means sight of everything. So we're building on this theme of having a face, is seeing, is coming forward, and also in root has heaven in it. We are to see the bliss, we are to see these things that was built in the past when Ma'at was at the forefront of the world. Back to Ra, though, because we still got a little bit more to dig there. The original meaning of his name is unknown, but at one period of Kemetian history, it seems to have thought that the word Ra was indicative of operative and creative power, and that as a proper name, it represented in meaning of the creator. This epithet is being used in much the same way and with the same idea as we use the term when applied to God Almighty, the creator of heaven, earth, and all things there within. So what is operant? That which works, working, engaged in action. Early 15th century, Latin operatim, present participle operi, to work, to labor, to have effect, to be effective, to cause. Opera, work, effort. PIE, to work and produce in abundance. So the nature of Ra, the nature of life, of the great deity and the father of all things, is to operate, is to work. So when we think of the matrix and when we just think of work in our daily lives, we don't think of it to produce an abundance, right? It's stress, it's not what we want to do. But again, part of this coming forth and showing our faces, rewiring and reframing what work is and what it is to be a son and be the face. So in connection with that, we have offering here. Presenting something to a deity. Verbal noun, offering, to show, to exhibit, to bring. So offering is, again, the coming forward, that we don't just show up and appear, but that we are presenting something to a NETERU, or presenting something to the divine, and we are exhibiting and showing ourselves, which is what Saba is putting the call out to do. All right, last bit here. The worship of the sun in Kemet is extremely ancient and appears to have been universal. At a very early period, adoration of him was associated with that of the Hawk NETERU HERU, who was the personification of the height of heaven, who appears to have been a type and symbol of the sun. Okay, now I asked, and this is something we can reflect on, what does it mean to be a person, right? It's interesting that within that, it has the root of the sun, person, Old French personne, human, anyone, and directly from Latin persona, a human being, person, personage. Now here's some interesting. Part in a drama, assumed character, originally a mask or a false face. So we know in our traverse of immortality, we take different incarnations of different lives of different beings. So to come forward and to have a face is to be part of a drama, and yet it's something temporary, right? We put on a mask when we're assuming a role and we're assuming a character. So it's something, again, to meditate on. What character am I in this personal experience of this life? Is it just something ordinary, or is it something of the NETERU, something of the gods, something of legends? Drama, a composition presenting dialogue, a course of human action. So again, operant, we're not just still like rocks, we're acting, we're working, we're offering, we're doing. From late Latin drama, play, drama, Greek drama, action, deed, play, skeptical, from drao, to do, to act, and perform. You know, I don't know about anybody else, but a lot of people like to watch dramas, and yet our experience of being, we don't use human being here because that needs to be against the NETERU. To be a person is to be in a drama. And that just, again, being a hero, being all these things come from those roles that we play. All right, personify. Personify, person is by, from French personifier, from person, meaning to represent, to embody, and to attest. What is it that we may be embodying? Before we get to that, though, another interesting definition of person means, related to Latin person, to sound through. Mask as something spoken through and perhaps amplified with words. So I'm gonna bring this question to the chat. What do we use within our person, within our body, to sound through, to sound and create words? Let that roll in. Take a little water break. Okay. On in. Hands with the gates. First to the call, we got voice. Give it another moment. All right, Tua and Tua gates. Yeah, the voice which comes through our mouth. An oral opening or of an animal or human opening of anything. And not only that, a door, a gate, from Proto-Germanic Ptah, P-I-E, root, men, to project, of notion of projecting a body parts. So now what is projection? One who forms a project or projects in the sense of a camera with a light source throwing an object on a screen. So now we're talking about sound vibration, and that being related to a camera, right? And connected to a source of light. So again, the appearing and the coming forward. And the beautiful thing when you think about it, yes, we know of this smell, right, of our lips. But when you actually look at our eyes, those have lips as well. Those are mouths in itself. So it's very beautiful, the projection which can come through our vision, as well as the projection of our voice. Okay. Now let's get into some Medu, right? We're here to face the sun, the RAturning. Well, in the Medu, Ra is the mouth. Ra, Ray, mouth, entrance, opening, door, gate, speech, right? Door of the earth is through the light of Ra, light of sun, that we can even have visibility to experience life on earth. Very nefer. And again, we're talking on doubles here with the Medu Neter. So when we flip Ra, we get R, which means to see. So in one aspect of Ra, we have a mouth and we have a door. And when we inverse that, we now have the ability to see, right? Seeing, a looking, glance, sight, vision. Very beautiful here at the bottom, we have ART-NEPT, which means every eye of all persons and everybody is embodying that aspect of the NETERU Ra, the sun. So our eyes are much, much more than just a part of our face. They're our mask, they're our projectors, they are our amplifiers. So now with that, let's go further into R, which means to come, to go, something, to ascend, the Ari, he who goes up. Gods of the Egyptians. HERU, let's look at HERU, and this is the same page as before. HERU is the oldest in Kemet, and strictly speaking, it should be discussed before Ra, but as Ra and the personifications of his various forms are the greatest of the NETERU of the Kemetians. He must be regarded as a true father of the NETERU. The god Ra is usually depicted in the body of a man and the head of a hawk. But sometimes he is represented in the form of a hawk, and on his head he wears the symbol, the disk of the sun. So here is that lovely hawk. Continuing forward, when he has a human body, and continuing to speak on Ra, he holds the emblem of life, which is the ANKH, in his right hand and a scepter in his left. Viewed from a practical point of view, Ra is the oldest of all the NETERU in Kemet, and his first act of creation was the appearance of the disk above the waters of the world ocean, the first rising. So, coming back for a moment here, when Ra has a human body, has a body, and is a person, he's holding ANKH, he's holding life itself. So when we have our experience as persons, as people, we hold life in our hands. So when we look at that ANKH, what does it mean? Again, another Medu like Ra that is thrown so often. ANKH is life personified. It is the name of the NETERU. And I found it quite beautiful that ANKH also has correlation of the stars. So we are actually the stars when we have life. ANKH, when we are a living person, when we have living fire, we are the original stars. None of this confusion of the Hollywood Walk of Fame and the star cemented on the ground. No, when we carry that light and we carry that living fire, that is the true star. And interestingly enough, when we dig further into Ankh, it also means to swear an oath, to take an oath, to swear by the life of a NETERU, something that is much more sacred than what we believe, what we are programmed to believe. Let's go into swear. Middle English, swear in. Old English, swearian, swearigian, to take or utter an oath, to make a solemn declaration with an appeal to divinity. It matters not if you are an atheist and you think there is no divine. You swear by something. Some people swear by money. Some people swear by their qualifications and their prayer. You know, we all swear by something. We all are taking oath under something. And the PIE root means to speak and talk and say. So again, a lot of utterance. What is the divine? 14th century, pertaining to the nature or proceeding of a god or god. Old French, divin, from Latin divinus, of a god. From divius, of or belonging to a god, inspired, prophetic, related to deus, god, deity, PIE roots, diu, to shine, derivatives, sky, heaven, and God. So once again, we're finding ourselves back in heaven, Petra, having sight, the sight of any and everything. Sky and heaven. If there is no divine, there is nothing to swear to. There is no life. There is nothing to offer. There's nothing to come forward to. So part of this journey is reestablishing and reclaiming the sacredness of life. When every single day you're just carrying on your day and you know that it's a representation of the divine, it's a representation of the NETERU. It allows us to step larger than a human with one life that's going to hell, that's just cut off from the heavens, that is not after I die and maybe get there based on my moral character, but it's something that is continuing to exist and persist around us. So when we look at the medulla of HERU, and we're going to focus on the face here, HERU, right? The avenger, the one that comes forward. So much is centered on HERU, bringing the redemption and that victory forward. His medu representation is a face. So whether you want to bring it to English, to be a hero means you have a face. And within that also is the Ra, that mouth lift, to speak, to appear, to come to light and forward. And we also have the falcon/hawk here. So these birds carry a lot of meaning in transcending the height of the ground of the earthly life to the heaven, and as well as our Ba echoing in the afterlife. So what is the hawk? What is this bird that is depicted so often in the Medu? What does it mean? The Bak, hawk of gold. Again, to work, to labor, to toil, to serve, to do service, to pay tribute, to be worked upon. Baku, servants, people attached to the service of the NETERU. This is the relationship that, as we cleanse our Eve, we're also repairing that service to the NETERU. The same way they serve us, the same way we do ritual for them and we give adoration to them, we also give that back and give it forward by serving. Baka, worker, name of Ra. Ra is that operant creative power that has brought creation to take place. Beka, so again, you'll notice with the E's, the vowels in the meta-netter, they're interchangeable among words. So Beka, to shine, to illumine, to be bright. So to be that HERU, to come forward, is to give that illumination, light, radiance, and splendor. So when we work And when we are workers, we are not slaves. We are actually HERU. We are the divine. We are radiant. So let us carry that in whatever works we're doing throughout our days. Represent or represent. Show, display, express, bring to mind by description. Also to symbolize, serve as a sign and symbol. So when we represent, represent, RApresent, we show, we portray, from Latin representare, to make present, to set in view, to show, exhibit, and display is what it means to present as Ray. So let's just enjoy the wonderful water lily here. I know there's a lot of etymology in my presentation, but I really felt it was necessary to do this because for the people tuning in now, as well as the ones tuning into the future, I value your ears too much to just assume words of the English language and utter things and speak things that actually affect your ability to shape your reality. So we're going to continue on and we're going to dig, and we're going to break these spells and truly understand the things that we are uttering that is coming forth in our life. All right, let's get into some of these bodies now and some of these aspects of our being within MAAT. Men and gods were supposed to contain the same component parts. I'm going to repeat that again. And the NETERU were supposed to contain the same component parts. We are one and the same with the NETERU. If they're principles, why would we have the same component parts? Continuing on. Man posed a physical body, a Khat, a soul, Ba, or soul. Sorry, let's go again here. Physical body, a Khat, a soul, or a Ba, a heart, which is the Eve, double, which is the Ka, and intelligence, Ku, Sekem, which is power, also memory, as we shed light on the house of Aten, a shadow, which is a Kaibit, a spiritual body, Sahu, and last but not least, the Ren, which is the name. And the gods possess divine counterparts of all of these. We are not separate to the NETERU. A NETERU had only one heart, one shadow, but might possess several souls and doubles. And we know that the souls of Ra were 7 in number and his doubles were 14. So this is what called me to specifically focus on the doubles of Ra, the cause of Ra, because if we have one Khat and we have one Eve, it's interesting that there's many Kas. So let's give that light and attention. What are these Kas of Ra? They are Nek, intelligence, Nekt, strength, Ku, splendor, Usr, power. And I'm going to pause here. When we remembered in the gods of the Egyptian what Ra was holding in his hand, he was holding the Ankh, the emblem, light, living fire in one hand, and in the other he was holding Usr, which is the power. Watch, 5 here, vigor, Chefa, abundance, Sheps, wealth, Senem, intermit, Sept, provision, Tet, stability, Ma, sight, Satem, Sejem, hearing, Sa, intelligence, and Hu, taste. We're going to be focusing on the Ka. The Ka, the Ka, the Ka. The Ka'u. When we have a U, that is the Ka in plural. So when we look in the Budge Dictionary, we see that Ra has 14 Kas, 14 Ka'us. And here they are again. Word of power, Eka. Light, strength, power, vigor, abundance, majesty, burial, preparedness, stability, sight, hearing, feeling or perception, and taste. So from this dictionary, I want to bring this slide up because the NETERU is not just something that came out of the thin air. So these particular Ka'us of Ra actually come from the temple of Kaombo in Kemet. This is a real place. The NETERU exists, the NETERU exists, and it just speaks to the validity and the potency of what we're bringing forward when we utter these words and we speak these things. Someone took the time to etch this into walls so we can remember it and reclaim it and bring it to face and light forward today. Now, what are these Kas? The Ka, right? Image, genius, person, double, character, vital strength of the Ba and soul. I want to know what the Ba and soul is of Ra, the creator, right? The operant of our cosmos. Let's go further. What is genius? Genius, from Latin, genius, guardian deity or spirit, which watches over the person from birth. Let that sink in. Watches, a deity or spirit which watches over each person from birth. Spirit, incarnation, wit, and talent. Originally, generative power, inborn nature, PIE roots, to give birth and beget. So this is where it's very important to know that everyone has genius. It is innate to us. It is inside of us. It is our generating power. And that genius is something that we are to give, something that we are to birth and to bring forward, which again speaks to the face and the embrace and the facing. Just gonna take a little water break and let me flow to the chat. I've been on this flowing boat here and I haven't tapped into the chat. So let me just see here what everyone's saying. All right, Nefer fire. Okay, we're flowing. I love it. Thank you everybody for your presence and your essence. Let this be a journey for me just as much as it is for you. So we're gonna go deeper into it. Okay, Kau. Some more representation and meaning of Kau is also a offering neter. So when we have a genius, it is connected to offering. I know we brought up offering again, but it's important that we hone in on these things that are imperative of us coming forward and stepping forward as these neters. Old English offering, representing something to a deity. As it was brought up earlier, genius is something of a spirit or a deity that watches over us. So again, more of the eyes. A thing presented, verbal noun offering, to show and exhibit. So we have to show our genius. We have to show our talent. We have to show those many characters and aspects of ourselves. And going further here, of presentations to a person and to the public. So let this be my offering. And in the house of Aten, that's what we are encouraged to do. Yes, we have our classes and we have our inner circle, but the example set by Saba Tehuti is to bring this forward to the public, because we would not be here if our ancestors had kept the Medu and kept Ma'at to themselves in the darkness, in their tombs, in the ground, when their quote unquote life was finished on this material realm. And along with Kau, it also means food, provision, sustenance, and supply. So our genius, our image, is actually something that can feed us, something that can actually provide for us in sustenance and supply. Excuse me. I found this last one very interesting here. My daily food or bread. To anyone, and I'm going to flow to the chat here, to anyone who is familiar with Christianity, has anyone ever heard of My Daily Bread? Little pamphlet, little book. Give it all a moment. Right. So the daily bread is just something you flip through, or is our daily bread, thank you, Maharu, is our daily bread our provision, our genius, the talent that we are offering to the public, to each other? It's amazing how religion can make us small, make us flat, right? And remove our genius. And it's something that it's just coming to me now. And it's important why in the House of Aten we emphasize all of the bodies of our being, the SCRIIIBE because you have a genius body. We have a genius aspect of ourselves. Imagine growing up knowing that, yes, I have a heart, yes, I have a body, but I have a genius. So these are the things that we have to continue to reframe, reiterate, that allow us to, Angela Kate's stepping away every time, right? Well, now there's something to replace it with, Angela Gates. So your talent, your offering is not only food to the world, but it's food for us and ourselves and ourselves. Looking at that eye there, that vision, that light. What does it mean to appear? I know I've said it again, but coming into view, to come to light. And what was brought up earlier is, what is provision? When I was putting this together, and this dawned on me as I was reading the etymology, provision I first thought of as food. You know, it's something we provide. But it has vision in it. Provision has vision. So when you go to the etymology, it's late 14th century provision, its first true definition is foresight, prudence, care, also providing beforehand, action of arranging in advance, a foreseeing and a foresight. When we look later, and this is around the, when we look at a later meaning, we see something provided, supply of necessary thing. This is attested to the mid-15th century, so after the fact. Specifically, sense of supply of food. So the first provision that was given was coming to light. Right? Sorry, apologies. Was the foresight. It's our eyes. Again, a part of our face. That is the first providing that we are doing when we plan and when we prepare. We see preparation. What is the saying? Practice makes perfect. So it's that refinement. And when someone is prophetic, they have provision. And that is indeed a food and a sustenance in our life because we become inspired. So before this is a Nefer image of the Karnak temple. Apologies, I don't have the kinetic name, but before I go there, I'm going to go to the chat. With what has been uncovered there with provision, with appearing, and this is a question that I have been seeking myself, is what is my talent, right? Ka, the genius, what is my talent? When we're looking at the root of talent, we see provision. So in order for something to appear, it has to be provided. So let this be an internal reflection for anyone out there who is like, what is my talent? What is my talent? Let's let's observe, let's step back and really think about, what am I providing in my life? What am I preparing for day to day? What am I having foresight of in order for something to come forward? Now, let that sit, let that marinate, and please watch it back and look at that, these words and these formulas of what our talent is innately in us, that we have to look at ourselves, of our acts and our actions and what we're offering and what we're doing in order to find it. Because as I'm learning with myself, it's already in us and it's something we're already doing, but we have to face it. We have to come forward and put light upon it. Okay. With all of these many Kas of Ra, we're going to be focusing in this continuing journey with Hu and Sa. So I decided to quickly, do a quick matrix search. And I'll say here as well, Sia is the same as Sa. In many iterations, I noticed it was Sia and Sa. So when you see Sia for the rest of the presentation, I'm going to be referring that to Sa. They're the same thing. So Hu is, no pun intended, Hu is Hu and Sia. They were all essential forces in the creation and the continuance of the cosmos. Hu and Sa served as crew members in the solar bark of the solar NETERU ray, and they were representative in an undistinctive form of bearded men, and also served as bearers of the eye of the NETERU HERU. In the text known as the Memphite theology, they personified the tongue and the heart of Ptah, and they were also regarded as two divine attributes within every king. And this is from the Egyptian Book of Heaven or Hell. Thou art one God, who didst form himself into two gods. So this is going into the creation process of Ra, creating Shu and Tefnut. Thou art the creator of the egg, and thou didst produce thy twin gods. In connection with the production of Shu and Tefnut, Dr. Burgess refers to the well-known origin of the Neters of taste and feeling, Hu and Sa, who are said to have sprung into being from the drops of blood which fell from the phallus of Ra, and have taken up their place among the NETERU, who were on the train of Ra, and who were with the Temu every day. The Temu, that's us, all people, mankind, men and women. So this is why I decided to hone in on Hu and Sa of the many Kas of Ra, because they're journeying with him at the start of creation. So here we are, and this is again, Egyptian Book of Heaven or Hell, and this is Ra's journey through the underworld. So just give me a moment here. I'm gonna, instead of having the text on the screen, I'm just gonna find the read up. And while I'm gathering that, also take time to come into the chat. All right, love the energy, love the presence, everyone. It's a wonderful thing when you begin to come forward and there's always resistances and there's always things that want to seek out in your mind. But this presentation was meant to come through. So I really hope everybody soaks it up and is soothed and can just really receive and be nourished and have sustenance. Again, the food, the provision beyond the plates and the forks and the knives that we're taking in on the daily. Okay, give me a moment here. Okay. Egyptian Book of Heaven or Hell. So this is volume 2, page 80 into 82. We see the horizon of the west, or the mountain of the west, right over here, divided into two parts. The boat of the sun is supposed to sail between them and to enter this passage into the Tuat. In the middle of the scene sails the boat of the sun. The Neter is symbolized by a beetle within a disc. So zooming in, there is Ra, the beetle, the Hepra, within the disc. The god is symbolized by a beetle within a disc, which is enveloped in the folds of a serpent having its tail in its mouth. So here's the Ouroboros, so commonly used in many other cultures. Well, here it is within Ma'at, encasing and protecting Ra as he's going through his transformation in the Duat after he has set as the sun. Okay, in the bows stands the Neter of divine intelligence, whose name is Sa. So everyone can see my mouse here on the far left. This is, and we're gonna get a clear image, but this is Sa over here. And in the stern, near the two paddles, so we see the two paddles here, stands Heka. This is another one of the 14 Kawu of Ra, the personification of words or power and magical utterance. The god who usually accompanies Sa to the left here is Hu. So again, we're bringing some ancestral artifacts to where these Kawus are coming from. And this is further from the Egyptian Book of Heaven or Hell. The text refers to the sun Neter, reads, Ra saith unto the mountain, send forth light, O mountain, let radiance arise from that which hath devoured me, which hath slain men and is filled with slaughter of the Neteru. Breathe to you, O ye who dwell in the light of your habitations. My splendor shall be to you. I decree their slaughter, and they have slaughtered everything which existed. I have hidden you from those who are upon the earth, restoring the crown or tiara to those who are on the mountain. The Neteru say that this jackal-head scepter, and we will break that one down in another presentation, emit the words of this great God, joineth together his members. Come then unto us, O thou from whom we have come forth. Cries of joy are to thee, O thou art in thy disk, thou great God, whose forms or transformations are manifold. And this is why I meant to share this piece, Their provisions consist of cakes and beer. So provision and providing, we've spoken about it in a sense beyond the plate of physical food, and yet as Ra is traversing the underworld, there is this taste, there is this wanting and desiring of cakes and beer. I don't know about you, but cakes and beer is not something you read. It's something that you eat. It is something that has a taste. It is something that we are to sustain ourselves with, as Ra is showing here. Okay, so he has just entered into the duat, and now we are continuing that journey. First division of the tuat, which is called NETERU. And the scene illustrates the first division of the tuat, which is passed through by the sun NETERU during the first hour of the night. We see that the center of the middle section is divided into two parts by a river, which flows along it. In the upper part of the boat is the quote-unquote dead sun NETERU AF, and this is Ra, who is in the form of a ram-headed man. Zoom in here. There's Ra, or AF. In the form of a ram-headed, he wears a disc upon his head and stands within the shrine of the Sektet boat, which we have learned is the boat of memory. The boat in which the NETERU travels from noon to sunset. In the front of the shrine in the boat stand three deities. Apawats, here, Sa, it's a little bit of a better depiction of Sa, and the lady of the boat, who wears, let's run it back here, who wears on her head discs and horns. So this is the lady of the hour and the front part of the shrine before Ra. So Sa is something that is required to protect and carry with Ra as he's taking that traverse into the underworld. Behind the shrines then, 5 NETERU, each having the head of a man, and the names of the first 4 are HERU, Ekenu, Kashu, i.e. the double of the sun, Nahes, the lookout, Hu, and the 5th is the steersman, Kur. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's Hu. And if anyone can pick it up, we're gonna get better pictures of the Medu going forward here. There's the Sineb cloth that makes that H sound, and the hoop and the oo bird. So there we have Hu. All right, we're gonna take just a moment to take in the sky and take in that heaven. Now, who is who? Who is who? The NETERU of sense of taste, depicted in ordinary form as a man NETERU, and he also has upon his head the sign of, and this is a tongue, which is the symbol of his name. He is mentioned in the text of Unaz with Sa, and he appears with him in the judgment scene. He is also present together with Amen, Tehuti, Nebhet, Wajet, and Sa when Aset brought forth her son Heru in the papyrus reeds of the Delta. Like Sa, the NETERU came into existence from a drop of blood which fell from the phallus of Ra when he mutilated himself. Hu was, however, not only the personification of the sense of taste in NETERU or NETER and man, but also became the personification of divine food upon which the NETERU and the beatified saints lived in heaven. So whether we are talking about Ra's daily traverse into the Tuat, or we're speaking about the dawn of creation, Hu and Sa, these Ptahs, these dispositions of Ra were present in that process. So that's why I feel it's so important to bring them through first. So now we're in the Medu, and now we can see a beautiful, clear oo bird and the Sineb, and let's go into Hu. Divine food, as what was mentioned earlier. Food, meat, and drink, Huts, celestial beings who supplied the deceased with food. Surplus, sense of taste, sprang forth from the phallus of Ra, one of the 14 Kau of Ra. So our food and our nourishment, it is divine, right? That inspiration, that genius that we have, one of them is Hu. So let our genius be the divine food. And this is the Per Heru chapter of making transformation into the soul of Timu. So just a reminder for everyone, Timu is all of us, mankind, men, women, everybody. Okay. Saith Osar, the scribe, Ani, triumphant, I have not gone into the house of destruction. I have not come to an evil. I have not known it. I am Ra, coming forth from Nu, the soul that is divine, the creator of his members. Abomination to me is sin. Not do I look upon it, not do I cry against right and truth. I live in it. I am who never doth fall in my name, that of the soul. I have created myself with Nu in my name. I am Pepra. I come into being. In the form of Ra, I am the Lord of light. Very potent and very powerful. So, who, along with the divine food and many of these other definitions, also means rain. And when we think of Nu, we think of that primordial, primeval mass from which creation dispersed. Well, now we see Who is those primeval, watery mass which everything came from. For Ra had a taste, and we'll get into taste later in the presentation, but that taste to spring forth life from his phallus. And whether we're speaking of our mouth or even at the tip of the phallus, also has a mouth shape. So the parallels are endless no matter which way it is being expressed. So with this journey and immersion into Ma'at, I did find an interesting parallel. So we are actually gonna swirl ourselves to North America, to the Hopi tribe. And I found that they also have a connection to Hu in their own culture and way. So in the Hopi and Zuni dance rituals, Hu, also known as Huhua or Tipu, is the kachina of the hummingbird. The hummingbird was and is an important bird in Puebloan cultures, and Puebloan stretches across America. Hopi legend speaks of the hummingbird as intervening on behalf of the Hopi people to convince the gods to bring the rain. So isn't it interesting in the Medu that Hu also means rain? Very matter the parallels between different groups and societies. So here is a better image of the Puebloan people and the Hopi. Okay. Let's bring it back to ourselves now. And I'm gonna throw this question to the chat. Hope everyone is relaxed and everyone is really nurturing and flowing here. The question is, how many senses of taste do we have? There's 5. So I'd like, can anyone name or can everybody name the 5 senses of taste or the ways that we can taste with our mouth? Take a break while the minds start thinking.
Yo, let's go.
Okay. While everyone's thinking on that, let's give a little bit of color of just what is taste. Perceive a flavor. Take a little food or drink. Old French taster, to taste, sample by mouth. Earlier, to feel, to touch. So Hu also means touch, also means feel. Latin texture, to evaluate, to handle. 13th century English, to touch, to handle. Early 14th century, to have experience or knowledge of. How many of us in our journey of quote-unquote consciousness and spirituality for Ma'at have heard the saying that source is just trying to experience itself? That's why creation exists, so the creator can know itself. That experiencing part is Hu, the taste, the wantingness to experience. And we have tax here. We're just gonna get to the root of it, and tax means to touch or handle. So it's often a saying we've had, right, of something being taxing to the body, right? Again, the experience and the feeling. All right, let me go back to the chat. Do we have some flavors here? Do we have some Taste. How would you describe? Okay, Nicholas Noetic, bitter, sour, sweet. Okay, yeah, there we go. That bitter, sour, sweet. Fatty, fresh. Okay, fresh. Interesting. So we're talking about flavors. How many ways can we experience flavors? Let me clarify. That wasn't clear. So there's 5 ways that we can experience flavor with our mouth. So Nicholas Noetic got bitter, sour, and sweet. We need 2 more. Yes, apologies, Chad. I didn't make that clear. It was flavors. How many ways can we experience flavors? Okay, let's go back to the presentation. Well, there is 5, and it's a very interesting thing to learn that within our tongue, there's actually specific areas where we have these 5 tastes. So bitter, sour, umami, salty, and sweet. And before we get to the biological imperative, why we actually have taste within our body and our person, it's interesting how we use flavor to actually describe our life. You know, if we've had a difficult experience, I've said it myself, like that's left a sour taste in my mouth. Everyone here has probably at some point in time said, man, he's really salty, she's really salty. Someone is envious or more aesthetic. And when we love someone, and when we have endearment, or we talk about children, we often say like, oh, you're so sweet, or you're such a sweetheart. So that divine food and that divine experience of our life is these aspects of taste. Umami, for those who don't know, because this is one that I had to learn myself, is connected with like mushrooms, beans, protein, sort of meaty sort of flavors. I have never used that in a way to describe anything in my life, but it's one of the flavors. And with that, this was a very interesting thing to learn, that these flavors that we experience in our life are actually a biological imperative. That's a necessity for us to live. So when we have that craving for sweet, which the matrix will hijack and give all these processed foods, it's our body's need of carbohydrates, which is what gives us energy to function and move, in the ATP throughout our body to be vital. When we have sour, it also helps protect us from eating certain things, but sour also helps us gauge the ripeness of fruit. I don't know about anyone, but I am not the greatest at picking watermelon. They're not, oftentimes they're more sour than they are sweet. Moving on to salty. Salt itself is a mineral, but it also helps balance the water level in our body, and we're mostly water. So that taste for salt is also necessary. Bitter. And yes, we need bitter herbs sometimes, but bitter also prevents us from consuming poisons that can potentially kill us. And umami, as I gave some examples earlier, is that protein in our body, and however animal form, beans, mushrooms to sustain us. And the really important question I want to throw to the chat is, what would our life be like? What would our experience be of the world if we had no sense of taste? If we couldn't experience these 5 flavors? Would we eat? Would you eat a chocolate bar if there's no sweetness in it? Would you eat the Doritos if there was no salt in it? It's really something to ponder on. And yet with that, because foods have these tastes, the reason why we often eat what we eat is because of the memory we have associated with them, right? People love cookies. It's the memory of the sweetness of the cookie. Or if we've eaten something, if we've eaten something sour, it's these experiences of flavors which actually give us memory. Not only do they protect us, but they give us memory, and they create cycles. When you first bite that apple and it's sweet, you always have that memory of, yeah, I'm going to eat an apple because it's sweet. So the ability to taste is very important in our life, and it gives us not only ways to describe people and situations, but it gives us a connection with our food. Let me see here. Got a lot going on. Okay. there would be there would be no cravings. Yeah, there would be no cravings, but then we wouldn't eat. It's a balance. It truly is ma'at. Yeah, it truly is a balance. Nicholas Noetic, yes, very Nefer point. I didn't get to this yet, but though our taste receptors are in our mouth, a huge part of our ability to taste actually comes from our nose. So yeah, anytime our breathing, our sinuses are impaired, or if you have a cold, you notice your sense of taste goes away, right? And that doesn't feel too great. You don't want to eat anything, right? When you're not able to taste things. All right. Thank you, chat. I love it. Love the flames. Love the contributions. Let's keep going. Experience, right? We've mentioned this word a lot. Observation as source of knowledge. Observation of an event that has affected one. Old French experience, experiment, proof. Latin experientia, trial, proof, experiment, knowledge. This is interesting as we carry down. Enterprising, active, industrious. Present participle, XPRE, to try and to test. Let's hone in on that. Experience means to try and to test, which means we may not get it right on the first time. So even when I read enterprising and people may think of entrepreneurs, it means to try. That means we have to do things over and over again. It doesn't always happen on the first try. And that sense of, also, I didn't highlight it here, but to try and also to risk is to experience. That we have to come forward. We have to step into the unknown, right? And per is often a word in the, per HERU, the coming forward. So it literally means to try. And that's what's embodied with food and taste. And when you're in touch with something, right? Touch in a physical sense, but also when you're in touch with something, you know it. All right. So we're going to go again into the per HERU. I shall come into existence among you. What then is it? Drops of blood it is, which come from the phallus of Ra. After he set out to perform mutilation upon himself, they came into existence as the NETERU, who are in following of Ra, Hu, and Sa. They are following Temu in the course of the day every. So every day of our lives, and we haven't gotten into Sa yet. There's experience, there's taste. These things are required to open our perception so we can receive and be ourselves totally. Intelligence, the highest faculty of the mind, capacity of comprehending general truths, directly from Latin intelligia, intelligentia, understanding, knowledge, power of discerning, art and skill. So intelligence is not just knowing mass amounts of information, out, family, never house of Aten, but it's the ability to discern ma'at, to pick and choose what is most useful. And not only that, it's appreciative. So here we go, PIE, to collect and gather, with derivatives meaning to speak and to pick out words. So when you think of intelligence and that higher faculty of the mind, now we're getting into Sa. We've mentioned Hu, and now is Sa, and we can see that Medu much clearer now. And we also have that falcon, and the falcon is one of the animals with the sharpest set of vision. Sharpest vision, the ability to see and come to light and perceive. One of the 14 Kau of Ra. So when we think about discernment and we think about intelligence, we're talking about being wise. We're talking about learned, sagacious, cunning, sane, prudent, discreet, and experience. So the connection of Hu and Sa and the taste and the experience. Proto-PIE word means to see. That's why wise is often connected with the owl. Now, another question for the chat. When we know something, right? When I say I know something by a particular part of my body, what body parts do we typically describe when we say we know something? Would we ever say, I know it by my nose? I know it by my fingernail? I know it by my kneecap? What part of our body do we typically associate with knowing and knowledge? While the minds are brewing, let me get another water. I know it by my mind. I know it by my brain. Okay, big vapes. We got heart. 1, 2. Serendipitous, lyric, hearts. Okay. Brain and hearts. Okay, we got it. Mind, I know by my mind. Okay. I completely understand the know by the mind, but when we unveil further with Sa and knowledge, and I'll get to that discerning part shortly, it's also connected with knowing of the heart. Is connected with why, right? Sometimes we might, when we love a song, what do we say? Oh, I know it by heart. I know this by heart. So the connection here is, of course, we have our mind, we have our ability to think, but remember, the heart is where we feel and we have that experience. So that is the meaning of Sa, and truly knowing something is to actually feel it within our Eve. And in the earlier iterations, it talked about Hu and Sa being parts of Ptah, right? Being a part of his Eve, and it's also connected with Tehuti. This I was not able to check for a fact, but I find it interesting. We say Saba all the time, right? Saba and Sa. That has Sa in it too. So it's very beautiful, the knowledge and how it becomes a door, and it's within becoming a teacher. All right, this is for Black a la carte. Thanks for the knowledge. Let's break down this etymology of knowledge. Acknowledgement of a superior honor or worship. For the first element, seeing know, we'll go into that shortly, late 14th century, the capacity of knowing, understanding, and familiarity. So again, the knowing it, whether by mind or by heart. Knowing awareness of fact, also news, notice, information, learning, organize, check out Saba Tehuti's Oregon class, body of facts or teachings. And going into that organ and that orgasmic energy is also sense of sexual intercourse. 12th century later, to find out about, to recognize, to have sexual intercourse. So for all of the future Hamets, future Neterts, and females, we say somebody knows us, right? To have knowledge, to know something is connected to sexual intercourse. And it's very beautiful in that same word of knowledge. It also has acknowledgement of superior, honor, and worship. So let not a Neter know you unless there is honor, unless he gives you honor, and unless he gives you worship. And that's how we can not only raise our thinking capacity, but we can raise the standard of how we are carrying ourselves, right? And that's truly what MAAT is. And we see all the Neter revering the Neterts, revering MAAT and the Neterts. All right, let's go into know. The ability to distinguish, generally perceive, to know how to do something. To understand as fact or truth opposed to belief. So to know is not the same thing as belief. We've mentioned experience, right? When we have the feel of something, when we touch something, we know it, right? We know it because we're in it, because we have a sense of it. And that's very real. And so much of this presentation is the action, is the doing, so we can know ourselves, so we can know our talent and know our genius. So it's again, the coming forward and the moving. Sa, to know, and as well to know by sight, which is to recognize, right? To have knowledge, to have the ability to recognize within our mind. Very beautiful, these two kaus. So, as we reach the nearing and ending of this presentation, just give me a moment here and let's just take in that cycle that we have been through with Ra. And this was a great medicine that I do want to share with her, for anyone that isn't aware of it. Ra, the sun, doesn't just rise. He doesn't just rise. He doesn't just meet at the zenith. He also sets. Right? He also, not only is he in action, but he also completes things. And it's very beautiful that our Ra mirrored, Ra doubled, Ra flipped also means to complete and to finish. So when we are embodying that light and when we're coming forward, we're meant to finish things. and not only bring to an end, but to repair and to complete. And I am someone that has many ideas and many inspirations and many musings, and this is a medicine and an inspiration for me to finish things and let my work be like a day. Don't just be a sun at the zenith. Don't just be a sun that just rose up, but that we have our sunset. And Ra in sunset is Temu, which means complete. So before I go any further, I do have a last note and a last tone to offer. Technical difficulties and all, it is meant to be expressed. I become the sod and saw the tour, ceiling became the floor, make wishing foundations, no hospital visitations. The child in me be Heka. I am oversaw the tour, rooting the righteous way, the etchings of yesterday, unbinds, papri, scrolling the remind, so my vision perceives nine. Bing, the greatest search, no internet can enter that which is the NETERU. Closed curtains can't close this discernment. The NETERU acts is always determined, always working. So I teach not for acclaim, but I teach so that the truth can remain. Hu, Sa, Ra. In order to come forth, we must complete things. And this is my presentation at its setting and completion. So this will be the first of a series. So we've gotten the Hu and we've gotten the Sa, and all adorations to the great Atef Ra for leading and guiding me to bring this forward. Pakem, I am complete, and may all your genius be manifested from this closing. Tua. Hear you guys yet? Just give me a moment. I gotta pull a separate screen.
Okay. Excellent. Great brother Primordial, thought you were on mute if you were speaking. Saw you talking.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Let's give NFRTATHNT a moment, see if she can hear.
Yeah, I can hear him. Just pulling up.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes. That was beautiful. I like the I like the taste bud. I like that taste bud part because that is memory. That is everything. That is that is how we continue to know what's good and what is bad. I like the details that you went into with the NETERU, especially in dealings in regards of the Hu. That was wonderful. That was fire. I like the way you broke everything down. This was definitely you literally. It was smooth the way you did this. It was. I even understood the formula, if I can say the way you presented it. Like it was. It's like I grasp it. A lot easier, and I was like, oh man, I like the formula, how she's doing and how we're walking through this, we're walking down this presentation. So to you, great sister, that was phenomenal. You definitely inspired me, and you definitely definitely got me wanting to step my game up too, the way he present, because that was fire. And to you, may you keep going. You purred through this, whatever you had to go through in regards to putting this together. Hey, you did it. And you did it phenomenally. And dua to you. May you continue to shine more and continue to teach just like this as you continue to gain that experience. That was wonderful. So dua to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hotep, welcome to welcome Nku. I'm gonna let you talk. You haven't spoke.
Tua, Hotep. Peace, everybody. I came in towards like the middle. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Tua. Peace, Sharika. Are you you're doing a new...
we gotta okay. Long story short, that Ren's got the Netter axe. It is NFRTATHNT, or you could say NFRTATHNT. That's my Ren going forward.
I was just gonna ask you about that. Can you repeat your Ren again for me?
NFRTATHNT, or if you say it quicker, NFRTATHNT.
NFRTATHNT.
I have it. Is my name not on? Do you not see my? You don't see my name on the StreamYard?
Let me see.
There we go.
Oh, yes. Yep. I can see it. Tua. Well, congratulations on the new Ren. The presentation was very good. I appreciate everything that you put into it, all the love. It was definitely very nourishing. One part you mentioned that resonated with me. You said life is sacred. I actually have that tattooed on my body. So HERU for that. Tua for the title. I love the double entendre of RAturning. That is fire. I really, really love that because I play with words and do double entendres in my titles. So I definitely was feeling that. I really liked how you use represent, Ra present, and Ray is present. That was fire. Overall, what I really loved about your share was your high level of intuition. And I definitely felt the consciousness of your share. Tua for the light, it was very healing. I'm just looking at my notes. Oh, I like how you used the meta netter. I love how you used the stories of the followers of MAAT. You use etymology, and your interaction with the chat was very Nefer. Very beautiful images. I can tell you're a creator, and of course, I love your tones and the spoken word that you did. So, HERU and Kes to you for your share today.
To Mankura, one of the things that was very healing before I even came forward is so many of your presentations always invoked art in me. It gave me a little nudge, like, you're an artist, create, come forward. Like, that's really the effect and the medicine that your presentations provide, and your experience with artists in different sense. So just giving HERU to you for the role and the place that you serve within the House of Aten to get us artists to bloom up and to be creative and to come forward. It is extremely important. So that is the one thing I wanted. I didn't want it to be a flat teaching. I really wanted it to be an embodiment, and technical difficulties and all. It's beautiful that life always wants me to have a mic in my hand, even if it's my phone for this first presentation. And I actually want to set this term here. I don't want to use presentation anymore. I want to use preceptation. That our presentations are actually doors, a preceptation. So I'm gonna coin that and mark that and let anyone run with it, but that is truly my intention, that it be felt and that it be living.
Tua, I didn't say Henu and Hotep to everybody on the panel because of the scheduling. I had a meeting with the family that I'm helping that's kind of in a crisis, so that's why I end up coming late. But Henu and Hotep to everybody. I had no intention in missing your share. I just had a little scheduling conflict. So Henu and Hotep and respect. I apologize for missing the beginning of your share.
Hey, you follow. You know what? You're following the journey regardless, because you still appear. You still appeared. You still came forth. You still show face.
Hotep Henu. That's beautiful. First I want to give you congratulations on your new Ren. It's very nefer, and I want to say, as far as the teachings go, man, thank you Tua for your provisions. Very nourishing. I loved everything about the class. I loved that I was able to really connect with your Eve on this teachings. I know we've been in several classes together, so a lot of the teachings that you touched on it elaborated for me. So I'm Tua for that. And I also want to give you adoration for working through the technical difficulties, because I know how challenging and difficult that could be. I had to do the same, walk through, some of the matrixy fears that I had early on, with coming up and presenting and working through the technical difficulties. And that just goes to show the tenacity and what we are doing over here at the House of Aten. It's like, it's so nefer, just everything about what everyone is bringing. I love your teaching. I love the teaching style. I was able to connect with it as well. Very, very, very nefer. I could say so many things because just what's going on in general over here at the House of Aten is just beautiful. And I'm so grateful to now have other teachers, especially in the church. It's just beautiful, what we're building over here. Just your overall style and tone and energy was very, very soothing, and it was very relatable. I learned a lot, and I definitely look forward to running it back as well. This is just beautiful what we're creating over here at the House of Aten. I love everyone's teaching style, because I learned so much from everyone, because everyone's style is different. Everyone is using a different program to present. Everyone has a different teaching style. And, it's beautiful. The only thing that's missing is the isfet, and it's not missing because this is not what we do over here. So, I hope everyone appreciate what's going on here and what we are presenting. What was the word, how you said it? I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to let you say it a few times before I grasp it. But Tua for your provisions. It was very beautiful what we have going on here. It's just, the English is not, I'm not able to communicate well with the English now. It's almost like the wiser I get, the more difficult it becomes to use the English, so that forces us to to study more. Very inspiring and very motivating. And I hope everyone knows that she presented this whole teaching through her phone. And it was some technical difficulties, but I think, and it still came off flawlessly. I heard everything. I was on my phone and on the computer, and I was still able to catch it and grasp it. The sound is a little bit hollow, but it's it just goes to show what we're doing over here. Like, we're going to work through whatever challenges that are presented to us, and we're still going to come out on top, because you know why? We're the real champions over here. So, Tua, for your great presentation, and congratulations on receiving your new Ren. Hotep Henu, great sister.
Yes, Tua, thank you so much. This panel here is full of netters and full of such support. And I almost want to give apologies, like, geez, why did it take so long? And Annie's a huge part of that nudge to come forward. But to anyone who, you know, has fear, again, it's that experience, right? And it's that part of coming forward. And there's no mistakes when we're coming forward with our Eve, and we just want to come forward with the knowledge in whatever way, shape, or form these teachings have affected us. There's so many things to present, everyone, and we all have our role, right? We talk about the character and the drama. We all have our role in our place to share it. And this is something too that, you know, it's so much in the moment, but it is something that I know my children in the future are gonna look at this and me through a phone, and it's going to get, you know, this is the first one. So I will only get better from this. And it is not arrogance, but I was not nervous at all for this, because this is truly how I think. This is truly how I feel about Ma'at. So it just became a matter of just literally spilling it and inundating it for everyone to receive. So again, it's part of the talent. It's part of the innateness that we all have things in our lives that we feel we just don't have nerves about. And if we have nerves, and those nerves are something for us to persevere through and HERU and push through. But we all have things that we are at ease with and we are at flow with. So protect those things, nurture those things, and we all have that provision, right? We all have eyes, we all have Ra, we all have HERU, we all have that strength within us. So this is just the first two, and as I unveil the remaining of the 14, let it just continue to feed and strengthen everybody to find that genius and that Ka within.
All right, Hotep, Tua. That was absolutely Sakim, very powerful, very full, very abounding of information. And I got a lot of notes from your presentation, So Tua, for coming forth and allowing us to receive your Ka, and to experience part of your genius. So Tua, for that, I love how you, first of all, I love the entire setup of the presentation. It was like a movie. There was hawks flying around the screen, par EEs gliding through. There was all type of motion and movement. So that was very Nefer, just how you set it up. So that was excellent. I love how you started off with Ra being the face of light. That was very powerful. And another one, I have many favorite words, and one of them is Pet Ra, Petter, to see. So I love how you spoke on that, and the word play as being a scribe yourself, and someone who plays with words, and to take Ra, understanding how the Medu Neter with the vowel sounds are interchangeable between it being before or after, and showing Ari. So that was very powerful. All the etymology that you showed, I'm pretty sure that you taught many people some new meanings of words that everyone uses. Showing mouth, meaning to project, and also a light source, and how you was teaching on the mouth and the eyes interchangeably throughout your presentation. That was fire. Tua, for bringing forth the another meaning for ANKH, meaning star, right? A living fire, and how that connects right back to the Ba, to the Ka, the soul in itself being that living fire, and how we are the Ankh, the living people. So that was very deep. To offer that, and then showing the Bak, right? The Bak, the hawk, with hawks flying all over the screen, meaning light to shine. I love that part. Oh, and I love how you pointed out men and the NETERU have the same component parts. And that's very huge to truly understand, and why we understand that we are the living embodiment of the NETERU, and how we always understood that we didn't separate ourselves from that what we experience. And I love how you went into that etymology as well. Per, to come forth, to risk, to try, which then also creates the word for fear. So experience and fear has the same root word, and you taught on that throughout your presentation, and coming forth and including everyone within that, showing the Ardit Nebet, how that's everyone as well, all people, all sight. So this was very full of a lot of information, and you did very well in doing it. It felt like we was on a boat with the sail, and Shu just blowing the boat through the Nile, and it was just a smooth ride all the way through. And we got Ra, we got the clouds, we got the sun, we got hawks flying, we got part EEs, we got the names of the Neter in front of the boat, behind the boat. We were literally on the boat traversing. So that was very beautiful how you put that together. So Tua for that. And the 14 Ka'u, and how you brought forth two of them, the Hu and the Sa, and showing the intelligence and meaning to know, and that's the wisdom and wise, and how that is to see. So going right back to the sight of the Ari, to create. This was a very deep class. Taste. So I'm very proud of you. I'm very happy for all the work that you put into this, all the Eve, all the Marie, all the time and energy that went into this. You can definitely feel it. You can definitely hear it. You can taste it. You can see it. All of your senses, you can definitely feel the Marie and the energy and the love and the consciousness that went into this presentation that you provided, on top of the spoken word, the actual poetry that you brought forth as well, dropping bars in between the teachings. So absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, this was excellent. And I'm so happy that everyone is able to begin to receive the feminine energy of the lessons and the teachings and MAAT, and the great students of Tehuti coming forth in so many different ways, and just showing the uniqueness of each individual Ka that you see on the panel, and how that is consistently growing and expanding. There's nothing like this that's taking place on the planet, and the great Tehuti is at the head of that, the tepi of that. So it's just the reflection of him. So Tua, and he left a very nefer comment, a very powerful comment. Another top level example of a student teacher, NFRTATHNT, an echo of the Aten family with a smiley sun. So are you able to see the StreamYard? I know prior you weren't able to see the StreamYard. Are you able to see it now?
Yeah, I can. I'm watching it through the StreamYard.
Okay. So yes, as
I can see Salva's comment.
Okay, great. So like the great brother Tef.
Because I know that's a lot for him to be putting in emojis.
Yes. And yes, so as the great brother Tefrim Kima'at stated, NFRTATHNT brought this, and we're communicating. She's talking through the phone. My phone is going through on speaker through my mic, so she's teaching through my microphone with her presentation up, and the screen was blacked out at the beginning, and so that's why we started a little bit later. We were figuring out ways to bring this forward, and just continued come forth, and it worked out nefer. So Tuat and Henu, NFRTATHNT, and I'll share the link. Let me put the link.
Okay, I need that all that breakdown you just gave about what it took for Nefer. I might have to remember this name, NFRTATHNT. That's the slower version. Got you. I'm gonna get it though. I'm gonna put it in my coup. I got you. Yeah, it's like the that sounds like the modern version of when Saba said that he was teaching out of a house with no power, had to bring the electric cord, bring it all over, taped up, doing presentations. Yeah, no, you definitely pulled that off. And two off for like, I like that you said you didn't even you wasn't nervous, and that's everything. Two out to that, and hopefully you jump on the track with Ani, because you definitely were spitting bars. So yes, two out. I forgot to mention that.
Yes.
I'm on the primordial prophecy now.
Yes. And we've had freestyle sessions, turn the beat on and freestyle, so that's happened. So yeah, absolutely. And just to assist everyone, an easy way to conceptualize her name is many names, probably two of the most infamous names that we know, which is Nefertari, right? Nefertiti. So now we have NFRTATHNT. So that's an easy way to think about her Ren. So yeah, let's welcome Anu and Antu to the panel. Peace and love, great brother and sister Hotep.
Hotep, Uncle Neb, to everybody in the panel. Nefer class, NFRTATHNT. I think I did it right. It was absolutely fantastic. It was soothing, like everyone said. Hopefully one day I see us all going to Kemet, and you've already been there, so I think that it's only fair that you're one of the tour guides, because I can see right now us going to the Temple of Karnak and doing the whole presentation with everything in front of you and all that. That's how I saw it. So I think that's absolutely never. I'm looking forward to you continue to grow more and more. You're starting from already a high spot, because this was very detailed, very much so a master class. And I am personally happy to see a darker sister up here presenting the knowledge of our ancestors, because that will be something that I can show other people that look more like you, to inspire them to get into the knowledge. So I'm very much so thankful for that. Congratulations on your new Ren. I am excited to see the development of that and the echoing of that more and more continuously for eternity. And I'm looking forward to everything that you are going to bring forth in the future. And I'm very thankful for this class. To all very much. Hotep to everybody on the panel as well. Hotep Marie to everybody. And all the supporters, everybody support. Send support for this class.
Hotep and Mary, to all very much for this class. It touched my Ebe in
Yes, I think it's on my.
Go ahead.
There's a slight delay, so let's hold on a second. Go ahead, NFRTATHNT.
Okay.
Hotep, yes, go ahead.
Can I be heard? Can I be seen?
Yes. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Mic check, mic check.
Yes, we are here. Can you hear us?
Here we go.
It's like the news.
It's chopping out.
Okay, let me I'm gonna call her right back because this is how we're having to do this. Hold on momentarily.
Yes, Henu, Anu, for being the trailblazer, and being that one to see this path that is going to tree and branch off in so many Nefer, NETERU, and NETERT directions. It's really a NETERU trailblazer that you are for being that first and taking that risk and giving yourself that experience to then seed this and seed all of us. So just, of course, having to give you your dua for that. So thank you so much.
Ninu Katua very much.
Hotep and Mary, great sister. You touched my Ebe in a very, very deep way. I'm so thankful for all that you brought forward. I can't express what you did to me tonight. Something so beautiful happened, and I'm very thankful.
It's one thing to have a love and an affinity with words, but one of the things I actually cherish the most is when something is so moving and so deep that it actually leads one to be speechless. So you're always giving your adoration, you're always giving your heart. So thank you for sharing with me that fullness, and please let me know how that moves and how that affects and nurtures you going forward. And you know what, it's the beauty, and within the organization, it's beautiful that the brothers and the NETERs have their medicine, but with the NETERs, we also have our own cultivation, and we also have our medicine that we are to give one another. So it's just beautiful to witness that and let that continue to grow and expand to all the women within the House of Aten as well.
Very beautiful words, Tua, very much for your coup and your energy, Tua, so much.
All right, Henu, Nefer Keperet, peace and welcome to the panel. And we will pass you the microphone. Peace, Hotep.
Peace, Hotep. Can I be heard okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hotep, Nefersenet, you did amazing today. I'm extremely proud of you. This was such a beautiful presentation, or a beautiful class, a beautiful teaching, and yes, I'm very proud of you for the way that you came forth, and just how natural you are. So, Tua.
Well, Topsamat, it's extremely enough for the inner journey that both of us took to bring these presentations forward. So, Tua, for your Sikem and the strength and the tone you set with your presentation, and that also too added to the ease and the ability for need to come forward, and let it not stop with me. Like, you know, every time Saba comes forward and gives a podcast, or every Sunday teaching, like, let us, the crew, as we come forward, like, let us strengthen one another, and let it be a momentum that we grow from our teachings and our offerings. And that just, as Saba says, it makes us Voltron, it makes us mightier when the teachings are not separate of one another. That's how beautiful it is that this is the first time that any Ptah and Neferkeperet are seeing my presentation, and yet there's so many parallels and there's so many connections. So Tua for you and Tua for the container, and a lot of this Neferness would not be possible without the Aruts, without our Trinity really containing and nurturing me to be in the most Ma'at space to bring this forward. So Nukumer 10 to the both of you, I love you very much, and the things that the both of you have given to me is beyond words. So, Tua.
Tua. Yes, very Nefer Tua.
Yes, very Nefertua. And let's welcome the lovely Gabriela Lopez to the panel. Welcome, sister. Hotep.
Hotep, can I be heard?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. All right, Hotep to everybody. Great sisters. I am beyond proud of you both. You guys did something that a lot of us are still too, we haven't Pekka Mkud that part. So thank you for both of you being an inspiration to all of us. I can't describe the feeling of seeing great sisters present, but I imagine that that's what the guys feel when they're each presenting. So if it's anything like this, it's truly it's just Nefer and very divine feeling that the both of you have inspired in me. So thank you for that, because in order to inspire, that means you're on the right path to be a teacher. And clearly the both of you are just doing it flawlessly. I remember when I first met you at the Pathways to Awakening, you have this very peaceful, calming demeanor, and I love that you still have that. Even though you're doing something that can be very nerve-wracking, you have this just peaceful aura. So thank you for that, because I am not one to have that. If I am nervous, I will start to get red, and you guys will see the signs. So thank you for showing me that talent, that skill, because not all of us have that. And so that is also another inspiration for me to conquer, to be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. So thank you for that. I wrote some notes down just because there was so much to take in, but I really felt when you said our senses, when you said the ability to eat, to taste. Currently right now with the baby is very specific. So I miss my ability to eat and taste whatever I want, because now it's not what I want, it's not what I crave, it's what the baby wants. So it's very interesting how we take those things for granted, and when we no longer have the ability to customize these things, these senses, you miss it, and you start to realize how much more grateful you need to be for all of your senses. So thank you for that. I love that you made us just think and reflect throughout your entire presentation on top of all the knowledge you're giving, because that's something that some of us forget to do. We get so caught up in the matrix and everything that we have to handle on a daily basis that we forget to reflect, we forget to think, to really inner think on certain things. So thank you for that reminder, constant reminder, because that is something that I know at times I lack. The word genius, I was just, my mind was like, what? You know, it's just another example of why now with my conversations that I have with people, I tend to have a very cautious approach of what I say and what my intention really is, because there's so many, you know, Saba has taught us there's so many double meanings that you think something is this, and then the matrix steps in and says, no, surprise. And so I started to realize that we have to be very careful on and really research what we're saying and what we're really putting out there, because our words are spells. So that's truly important. And something that I really, really love that you touched on is us completing things. I know that's something I struggle with at times, that I start something, or it takes me a long time to start something, and then it's hard because of fear to finish it. So that is clearly something that we need to accomplish, something we need to take on just head on with no fear, because then the more we procrastinate, the more unwanted feelings we have and we create within ourselves, and that causes disruption within our life and ourselves as well. So thank you for touching base on that. And again, I'm beyond proud, and thank you for both of you for just being great sisters and inspiring all of us to just do it, to just step out there. So congratulations, ladies.
What's up, Gabriella? Very never your own growth. You know, I remember when I first met you as well. So for you to even remember that and mirror that and show the consistency that I still have in my energy and field is very never. But I appreciate so much your vulnerability and the challenges you have and the things that you are feeling in the moment. I want to come through and work on. Like, that's beautiful. I remember when you first came onto the panel, it was very short, and you know, you wanted to say what you needed to say, but like, you truly, you are this. You are just as much a part of this, and that's why we always want to invite people to come to the panel. Just that ability to reciprocate and give that reciprocity. And that divine food, right? The divine food in those intangible ways is so nourishing. And it does hit me deeper to know that you are carrying a life within you. And even in your share, you're already a teacher in that process, in that ma'at, and that reflection. You're teaching yourself to yourself, and you're putting that on the internet for your children, which you already have, a primordial, and then the one to come. Is very nefer, and just gives that true essence of ma'at to the panel. So Tua, for your contribution as a woman, as a hamet, as an assert to this panel and this beautiful nefer sharing window. So just again, adoration to you.
All right, very powerful, very Sakim. Tua to everyone for supporting and giving your Nefer Medu, your Nefer words, and just having the vibration so high up in here is amazing. So soon we're gonna have 14 Kas on the panel of the House of Aten. So it's gonna be a beautiful thing. So Tuan Henu to everyone who is coming forward and who is taking the time to take in everything that is being presented. Henu to the great Saba Tehuti and his NFRTATHNT for coming forth and being the leading light of this movement, this organization, and just setting the standard and the foundation for accurate, for excellence. And everyone here that we see and all of our great supporters, the great Maru in the chat, the great HERU, the members of the House of Aten. There's no better place to be than here. So Tuan Henu, and I will begin to show some of the support. Henu and Tua to everyone who showed support. It's a beautiful thing just to see that for supporting the sisters, and let them know, you know, we appreciate you. We appreciate you and everything that soon as you know, I don't know if anyone's started to put together PowerPoints and presentations to bring something forward. It's a lot to do that. There's a lot you have to go through to follow through with that and to put it together. So it's a beautiful thing to see people, such beautiful people, support that. So Tuan Henu, and first we'll start off with the super chat that we received earlier in the chat from the great brother Stranger, who is here, who says, showing appreciation for this podcast and reminding the chat to pay your Tua Ishin, another word that he has came up with alongside my moderators. So we got new Medu words flying everywhere. We got presentation, we got Tua Ishin, very nefer. So reminding the chat to pay your Tua Ishin if you are nourished by this information. And there Tua to the great brother Stranger for coming in and supporting these classes and utilizing the super chat, great brother, and also the PayPal as well. So Henu to you, Tua for just supporting the House of Aten and all the Nefer words that you put in the chat and keeping it live here. So Tua to the great brother Stranger, Henu to you. All right, and next we will show the lovely sister who just spoke, Gabriella, who sends 1111 for a Nefer and inspiring class.
Forget that we the real champions around.
Yeah, we're here and we're the best.
Yes, Tua, Gabriella, for being who you are, coming forth with your Ebe and being as vulnerable as you are, and it takes a lot of trust and purity to do that. And it's a beautiful thing that you are a representation of that. And I'm very thankful to have you a part of the House of Aten, and knowing that Abba and Ebe like you is supporting our great brother Primordial Thought 9 is very powerful. So Tua, Gabriella, for everything that you're doing, and I look forward to what all you will be coming forth with as well. I know that there's a lot brewing inside of you, so I'm looking forward to the expression of that. So Tua, Gabriella. All right, and next we will go to the great brother, Nook Poo, most active brother in the chats, always keeping the chat in motion. Henu to this great brother who sends in 333 for Kes, Nefer, Neteret, Sherry Ka, Hotep, Marie Ku, Heku, Makuru, 3 Ma'at. Yes, Tua Hinu, great brother. Nook Poo. Ma'at HERU. We appreciate you, great brother. And for all your consistency and your disciplines as well. So Tua and Hinu. To the Nook Poo, Ma'akaru Amun Ray. All right, and let's go to another Nefer sister, Angela Gates. Another consistent sister who always supports the class, is always here present in every class, who sends in $5 for Show Your Face.
You did what?
Neb Nefer Ankh. Everything is beautiful in life.
Yes, Tua Hinu, Angela Gates. We most definitely appreciate your consistency and always coming forth, and always happy to see you in the chat. Tua and Hinu to you. And next we have the lovely couple duo Anu and Antu, who sends in $20 for Hotep Marie Tua Sanet. This class is so Nefert and healing.
Better keep teaching like this. You don't nobody really want no smoke.
Yes, Hotep Hinu, Anu and Antu. I know they had to step down from the panel, and they left a message in the private chat, and I'll read it to everyone. It says, Hotep Marie Tua Ta'al, Antu and I are going to be stepping out a little bit early. There are some things that we have to take care of. We are happy to give our adorations to the great sister, another super class for the super baby, PT9. Yes. Tua to Anu and Antu for being who they are, extremely consistent, great Heru, always helping to innovate the House of Aten and help us to expand in whatever way that they can. So giving much Hinu to Anu and Antu. Tua. All right, and next we have Nicholas Savinston, who sends in 1472 for the Great Presentation by NFRTATHNT, formerly known as Sherry Ka. Happy New Neferin and Tua.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, if you made a punch and just moved you should have moved your left shoulder a little bit to the right, and I know you could have won. Just get in the ring and beat the guy.
Tua Hinu to Nicholas Noetic here, who says so much Marie Eve is warm. Yes, Tua to you, great brother. Tua for just your consistency in these classes and always supporting. We definitely appreciate and love to see you here with us, and love to have your energy with us in these classes, great brother. So Tua and Hinu for your just consistency coming forth. Hinu. All right, and we have the great brother Primordial Thought 9, who sends in $10 for Dua to the great NFRTATHNT. Inu Fist.
You have no way of life, but you've mastered the earth. You've mastered the shape of the earth, but you look like the shape of the Michelin Man.
Tua Hinu to the great brother Primordial Thought 9. Everyone sees this great brother and what he's doing, and Hinu to you, great brother, supporting the way that you do, and for coming forth and accepting that call as soon as You heard it from the great Saba without question, without delay. You said, no, I accept that. And you came forward. So that's very powerful, very Sakim. So to our great brother for being a representation of your Ren. And it's just a beautiful thing. So I look forward to, there's a lot I look forward to with this great brother. So Tuan Hinu. And Stranger says, Ani's soundboard is crazy. That would be the great brother, Tefrem Kim Ma'at, who's usually doing the sounds. So I'll definitely make sure that, you know, he gets that credit. Yeah, and that's the funniest part. In the pod class, no one knows if it's me or a Tef, and we're one. So we got our Ren at the same time. We're twins. So it's both of us. So Hinu to the great.
Come join us. House of Aten, ancient Tehuti and teachings of NETERU. Back to the source. We the original Axemen.
Yes, Hinu. And I think, yes, let me refresh. Oh, yes, we have the great brother, Oxafek, the calm one with the axe. Another very Nefer HERU, who sends in 2072 for Hinu Dua, NFRTATHNT, Hinu, HOA, Hotep, Marie.
Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side.
Hinu to the great brother Oxafek. This great brother, I mean, he's extremely Sakim. We truly appreciate you, great brother, for all that you do, all the support that you give for every class, for everything that the House of Aten brings forward. We truly appreciate you, great brother. So Hinu and Tua for supporting this class and supporting the sisters. Hinu and Tua to you. All right, and I'll refresh one more time on the support. Hinu and Tua to all the great Meru for supporting information and supporting organization. It's just a beautiful thing. Oh, yes. We have the great brother Black Alu Card, who is here with us. Hinu to you, great brother. Glad to see you. Glad to hear you. And know that you are here with us, great brother. So Tua, he sends in $5 for Flames.
I don't play with pseudos.
Yes, Hinu to Black Alucard, which is Dracula spelled backwards. Tua to this great brother who's been with us since the beginning. It was great to meet you at the Pathways to Awakening, great brother. Looking forward to the next one. Speaking with you. So Tua Hinu for supporting this class, great brother. All right, and I think that is the support. Yes, Tua Hinu. For everyone who's watching on the playback, the links are in the bio. The link is also scrolling across the bottom, Cash App, PayPal, and also houseofaten.org/donate. House of Aten, get your merch. Go get your merch. Go get your notebooks. Get your bathroom sets. We're working on more things and support what we have. This is a very beautiful thing. So Tua and
Come join us. House of Aten, ancient Tehuti and teachings of NETERU. Back to the source. We the original Axemen.
yes, I was going to pass it to the great brother Minku Ara, but he says he's having lag. So he created this flyer here, House of Aten Community Discord, which is this Friday, the 31st, 7 p.m. Central Time. Let's build. So everyone hit the Discord link. If you're not a part of the Discord, make sure you join us in this meeting. It's always a great family event, and it's very nefer. So be sure you come out this Friday, the 31st, 7 p.m. Central Time, and build with us. Build with us. This is an open platform, public for everyone, and you can come and receive and see what the House of Aten is about. So to everyone in the Discord community, and for those who are utilizing that as a place to continue the builds outside of these classes that we have in the pod class from the great Saba Tehuti. So Tua and Henu to Menku Ara for that. All right, there he is, Boss B. Hotep, great brother. All right, so with all of that being said, I want to just give everyone great Henu and great Tua for just being here and giving your attention to the great sisters, and Tua too, the sisters, for coming forth and laying your Eve out on the table and allowing everyone to receive that. It's a very beautiful thing. So we will go around the panel and let everyone give some Nefer closing statements to end this very Nefer class with. And we'll let NFRTATHNT close us out last. So I'll start. I'll say Hotep Henu, Ma'at HERU. Again, Tua, houseofaten.org. Go get your merch. The NETERU exists. Yes, may all of these classes that the House of Aten is bringing forth inspire you to continue to dig in the research, continue to dig in your studies, continue to peka imku and examine that which exists within you, so we can continue to come forth as conscious light and build like we're doing. This can only exist when each ka is doing the necessary ra, which is, as the great NFRTATHNT showed, action. So Tua and Henu, the Kim M Ardit, Murder Ka'a, Semu Hatu NETERU, Pert Int Hetep. I obtain the power to do what pleases my Ka. May the hearts of the NETERU lead me. I come forth in peace. Hotep, NFRTATHNT, I'm very proud of you. And I'm looking forward to the next one. And so we'll go that way. So Nefer Keperet, it is on you.
Hotep, can I be heard okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hotep Marie, House of Aten family, this was such a beautiful teaching, and I'm feeling very appreciative for just being a part of this and being here. I feel very thankful. So Tua very much to everyone, and Tua to my NFRTATHNT for coming forth. Hotep.
Can I be heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great sister. Your name on the thing throws me off because I'm trying to read it like that, but Ani gave me a quick way to learn it. So NFRTATHNT, great sister. I hope I said that correctly. Thank you for presenting and for giving us your energy and your knowledge, because I wasn't the only one that just took it in. The baby took it in as well. So thank you for that, because you did a double up. So thank you for that. And just thank you for your presence and for just being just a great sister, and for being an inspiration to all of us. Tua.
Hotep Henu, congratulations, great sister. Definitely looking forward to part 2 as well. Tua for inspiring me, inspiring us and motivating us. And I definitely look forward to more of the Heru coming forth and walking past their fears and getting up on this panel and teaching, you know, because we're all students. Henu to the great Saba Tehuti Amenhotep Ra, our wonderful teacher. The evidence is what is being seen. The evidence of who he is and his teaching is being seen and witnessed by the world. So I just want to give adoration to our great teacher, and I want to give adoration to the NETERU exists. We are here, and you're witnessing it right now in real time. So Hotep Henu, congratulations, great sister. It was a wonderful NEFA presentation, and again, congratulations on your new Ren. It's just it's always been up. But as they say, you know, it's up from here. So, Hotep Henu.
Peace, peace. Once again, dua to the great NFRTATHNT. I've abolished now Sharika. That is gone now from our coup. We're going to make sure that I'm going to repeat that every day until I get it right. Every time, I'm telling you right now. I've been calling you that, so when I see you, my brain is still in my sakim, so I'm getting it out of there. So we getting it out of there. Henu and Tua to you. Once again, you know, hey, blessings to you. Appreciate you for you know, doing this, and you great sisters is making it happen. You and Neferkeperet, definitely proud of y'all. Henu, may y'all continue to strive and continue to purr, continue to just come forth as that conscious light, you know. Henu and Hotep to everybody on the chat. Henu and Hotep to everybody on the panel. Henu and Hotep to the great Saba Tehuti Amun Hotep Ra, all the Heru, everybody that continues to watch this and grow. May you all have Neferu Pesh, and continue to work hard, continue to be diligent in what you do. And Tua for everyone for inspiring me. Henu and peace and love. May Ra grant you and your family health and prosperity. May your monument be established on the foundations of Ma'at. And may you all rise and come forth this conscious light, like the divine Ra who rise and shine forevermore in Ma'at. Hotep.
Okay, Nefer. Thank you, first and foremost, for everyone still live. You know, the technical difficulties, you started a bit later, and it's a quote-unquote weekday. So just to everybody feeling the need to stay connected and receive this in the live, and may extra can be to you and to everyone to come up after. Not only remember to reciprocate, but to just receive, you know, knowledge and Ma'at is there for us. So we really must relish these opportunities. Not going to be too long-winded, but the last thing I definitely need to say is to Saba Tehuti, and I hope that I have made you proud in this first step that I'm taking in your own provision of me. So I hope that my presentation, not only with you and your Neterus, brings nourishment to them, and also to for Saba Tehuti's Neterus for subconsciously, even in ways that we don't even see, giving us opportunity to come forward with what they do for him and what they allow us to do. So it's also important to relish and give adoration to them. And that is the temu, that is the setting on this presentation, and this dua and utmost of ma'at to everyone.
All right, great brother Tefrim Kemaat, you can close us out.
Hotep, we will close out. Look, I have my Nefer medallion, synchronicity. We will close out as we opened up, as we do with our beautiful affirmation. From today's teachings, he set out to perform the mutilation upon himself. They came into existence as the NETERU, who are in the following of Ra, Hu, and Sa, and they are following Temu in the course of the day, every. O ye NETERU who are in the presence, grant me your two arms. I am the Neter that I shall come into existence among you. What then is it? The drops of blood it is which comes forth from the phallus of Ra. Unki MAAT, NS, Nintet or Set MAAT, Min Hepapat MAAT, Per NU QE, Per Ekut. I live for Ma'at. I exist within her. I do not speak in the place of Ma'at. Every day I advance towards Ma'at. My being is surrounded in darkness. I come forth as conscious light.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. And we're the best. We're the best.
I don't.
Yo, let's go.
Closed my eyes, then I woke up back in my bed. I could see my room as clear as looking through a lens. See, I thought I was awake, so then I tried to move, but my body shocked me like I was plugged in a socket. I started panicking and scrambling within my mental. I thought I died and now my body I'm forever locked in. I was screaming, help me, someone help me please. But there wasn't any sound making it through my teeth. I could see movement in motion, shadows gather around me. How could I close my eyes already closed. Eating alkaline at this time, fasting reads so shocking. I was stuck in a paralysis, it had me froze. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. I finally started waking up and coming back. I was in the opposite of state's effect. That's relaxed, I grabbed my phone and started to do research. Knowledge of what happened, I was in a lack. Insidious, the movie came direct to mind. Every time I've seen this, it was connected to what's not divine. Demons crawling forcefully, holding the body down. Ain't no point in trying to scream, you will not make a sound. Deep within, I knew I made that a reality. The all is mine, I saw it, and so shall it be. I start replacing fear with knowing universe is mental. Talking to my subconscious to wake me up in dreams. Then one day my spirit guides came in so essential. Daylight's astral playing loud in my dream helped to set me free. I'm back in paralysis laying on my couch. But this time I was calm, ready to exit out. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed. From what I read, I need to move my arms in front of me. See a rope and pull it, separate and then release. Now I'm out, I see my house is gleaming, I accept it. Looking in the mirror, staring at my car's reflection. I was so ecstatic, flying in every direction. This was months of subconscious reprogramming and redirection. Place my thoughts in my body, wake up, that's what I did. I was reborn from that day so I could start to live. It's time to shed. It's time to shed. I heard a voice in the back of my head. Rebirth, it's time to shed.